In my last video, I built the first drawer of what I call my ultimate filament storage system. Well, this time we're finishing the whole thing. I finally printed all the parts that I needed to get this going, and it's time to build the rest. So let's get into it. Printing everything I needed was just a massive undertaking, to say the least. Overall, between all the parts, I used up about 7 rolls of ABS filament. Between all the parts, it totals up to 81 pieces to finish up the remaining 9 drawers. Shortly after the first video went live, Cheedy reached out and sent over their new Q2 printer, which was absolutely perfect. It has a build volume of 270 by 270 by 256, which is just large enough to print the frames that I needed to make this project happen. It's an enclosed design, and it has an active chamber heater, which works great for printing the 18 frames that I needed in ABS. Now, each frame took 7 hours and 17 minutes, which means this printer basically ran nonstop since I got it up and running. And out of the 144 hours of usage on this machine, 131 of them came from printing just the frames. Now, next up, the big star of this build was the Prusa Core 1. It printed every single part beside the frames. Now, the quality of the prints looked fantastic, and I didn't have a single failed print on it. It handled the ABS without any issues thanks to its ability to passively heat the chamber. Now that I have all the parts printed, I can start assembling the drawers. I'm not going to go into detail on how I built these up, as I've already done that in part 1. I'll have a link for that down in the description below if you're interested in checking that out. Now, I've got to give a huge thanks to PCBWay, who helped make this entire project possible. When I started this series, they sent me the first 2 ABS frames so I could even test this design and build up that first drawer. And now that I printed the rest, it's awesome to finally see the full system come together. If you've got large prints that won't fit on your printer, or you just want to experiment with different materials, PCBWay can print them for you in a huge variety of plastics, including ABS, ASA, nylon, and more. And it's super easy to upload your model, get an instant quote, and have it shipped right to your door. A big thank you to PCBWay for sponsoring this video and helping bring this project to life. Oh my goodness, this is definitely taking quite some time. I have a whole stack of these things going here. One down here, one over here. There's still a whole bunch of parts over there. We're definitely getting there. Let's keep going. We're on the home stretch. Well, so there we have it. All 9 are done with the exception of the faceplates, which we're gonna do next. Wow, this is definitely taking a lot longer than I anticipated, but it's gonna be so nice to have. I went ahead and opted to use the basswood sheets for the front of the drawers. The only problem is that I don't have enough for all 9 drawers, so I'll be short just some. That's okay though, I'll just load up what I have on my Momport Onyx R CO2 laser to cut what I have, and I think that the fronts turned out quite nice. I still need to work on dialing in the settings for this laser, so I did find that it didn't consistently cut through all the way around. I do think that going with a thicker sheet of wood would have been a better idea. In Robert Cowan's video, he used a CNC and some MDF board to make his fronts, which looked amazing. These don't look too half bad, but they're definitely not quite thick enough for what they need to be. They are a bit flexible as they are. All right, I've managed to get some of the front drawer faces on. I don't have any for these because I ran out of wood to use in the laser cutter. These are all ready to go. And now I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start replacing this filament and just filling this area up with the shelves as a temporary spot. I might want to move everything over. I don't know, to see if I can get a different setup going, but let's go ahead and get this installed. I did end up going to Home Depot to pick up a 4x8 foot piece of plywood and cut it down so that the drawers could sit on the plywood rather than the wire frames of the shelving unit. And that is going to make a huge difference. Not only is it going to allow the drawers to sit more flat, but it also allows me to screw down the frames to the plywood, really ensuring that they don't tip forward or move around. I also didn't realize this until they were right next to each other, but there is mounting points on the side of the frames so you can attach more than one frame together going left to right. I ended up mounting them together left to right first before mounting them to the plywood, just so that they could sit square with the front of the shelf. Now, I do want to reiterate in this video that this is not my design. Robert Cowan, a fellow content creator, had uploaded it to Printables where I originally found it. A huge thank you to him for putting his design online so that we can all benefit from it. You know, overall, it was quite satisfying to be able to load up these drawers with the filament. And as you just loaded up the filament, everything just got cleaner and nicer. But now I still have a huge mess that I need to clean up. But at least all the filament has a home now. So there we have it. It is all installed and ready to go. And there's one problem. Should have made more of them, to be honest. I could fit probably 3 more for sure. And I probably will eventually make those 3 because it's so nice having these drawers just to be able to pull out and have all the filament that you might need. And right now I have them set for PLA, HT PLA from Polymaker, because I want to start using that instead of PETG high flow in the future, maybe. But these ones over here are my PETG high flow or PETG. Now, there is one problem with these also, is that I do have a fair bit of dried refills and I keep them in these bags. But the problem is that these don't work in the drawers. I might be able to make something that these sit in. That might work. Now, if you enjoyed this, you should definitely check out this first video right here where I did the first initial concept of this. But if you've already seen that, you should check out this video right here where I review the Prusa Core 1, which was just an absolute amazing thing for this project. And get subscribed for when I do the Cheaty Q2 review.